Hello and welcome to Conversations with Co-Principals. I'm your host and Western Co-Principal Doug Woodruff, and today we've been invited by our Head of Science, Miss Millie Song, to see what's going on in our science classes. Miss Song is not only a graduate of Yantai University where she studied aquaculture, but she's also an alumni of the Yantai campus. So let's go have a conversation and learn some more about our science department. So thank you for inviting me in today, Millie, for conversations with our co-principals. And as we're starting to learn more about our school, we wanted to get to know a little bit more about our science department. So could you tell us a little bit about your background as a science major and what led you to being a teacher?
Yeah, I'm an undergraduate aquaculture student, and the reason why I choose this is not actually I choose this major. It's like I was so fascinated in media studies that time. But since I chose all the science class in high school, so the university just put me in that place because the majority adjustment. But I always loved biology since I was a child. I watched a lot of documentaries about discovery about the animals, and I think it's so magical how the cells work by themselves and how they interact with all the ecosystems. Everything I feel like this is really fun while I'm studying it.
So aquaculture, can you tell me a little bit about that? That's one, when you think about sciences, I think biology, chemistry, physics, and I don't know much about the individuals. What's aquaculture about?
If you want to detail the first year, we learn general biology, we learn chemistry, we learn about animals, plants, and when you're getting higher, you learn about medicines, about how those marine animals, how they grow, and how the plants grow. And if you want to choose further, we study a little bit microbiology, the experiments. Basically, the name is aquaculture, but everything we learn is based on biology and chemistry.
Okay, that's really interesting. So you took this kind of very specific niche of biology and then decided to be a teacher.
Yeah.
What led you to come and want to be a science teacher?
Saying that, as I said, I was fascinated in media studies. So I wanted to be a journalist or influencer when I was in university. And I didn't really have a pleasant experience when I was in my school years. So I never thought I would walk in a classroom and just work as an educator. But I spent my intern time in YWIES, and while I was being an intern teacher here, I do see a really different teacher and student relationship comparing to what I experienced. I feel like between student and teacher, there are mutual respect. There could be support, there could be genuine communications, and that make me feel like it's actually a fulfilled job, not just delivering knowledge, but also how you give the positive energy to your student and your colleagues. And I love biology, so I think this is a perfect job for me.
Okay. As a Chinese national and having gone to a Chinese university, I did notice you've got a very high level of English. What's led you to really study and want to be stronger in your second language?
Thank you. And I actually attend to the primary school of this school. So I was graduate from YWIES. And back to when I come here, English, we have a very professional native speaker English teacher. We have so many interacting activities. So learning English that time is not like a tedious subject like only memorizations. So I did have a solid foundations while we were studying here. And I actually didn't spend extra time on learning English after I graduated from here. But still, the experience I spent here just gave me the English as a second tool that is always accessible and it's not that hard to use. And when I'm trying to be a teacher, and I found that English become a very good advantage for me for being a bilingual teacher, especially teaching biology. So Yeah, so I just want to thank my primary English teacher.
And I didn't realize that you were not only a YWIES teacher, but you were actually a graduate from the program. So it's really exciting for me as a new principal in the school to see that progression of student moving into that teacher realm.
Yeah.
So welcome, welcome again. So we appointed you as the head of science this year. So what are your goals that you have for our students in science this year, and what do you hope they achieve?
For science study, science is always like they are two really different parts. Some students love science, some people hate science. So for their academic experience, I just want them to see science not just theories and obstacle. I want them to know that this is something that they can jump in, they can put their imaginations and creativities into real. So for sure, we want them to get high academic grades, that's for sure. But we were trying to make their science study into something interesting and make them visible and more connections with different departments, because science can use it everywhere.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I like that you're connecting it across the departments, because I remember back to my many years ago, pre-21st century learning in science. It was very much we came in, we had a textbook, and we learned from a textbook. Yeah. Occasionally we might have a lab. How are you trying to change that? You said you're trying to bring a lot of different interests in there as well.
So there is a project this year that I'm really looking forward to. It is Science Fair. And it's an annual science project we have every year. So I think the IG1 student could be looking forward to it too. But this year we want to make it more special. We want to make it in a school-wide events. That means that primaries and lower secondary will also join in, and we'll be focusing on how to let the imagination of students to go wild and how to put their creativities into something real, like the obstacle theories, putting something that is visible, some hands-on environment experiments. And it's just like every time when we starting a science fair, you see how their creativities, how their practical skills shines. That's very exciting. But more than that, we can see that their teamwork, their communications, their artistries, their presentation skills, every link of this process always shows the other side of student that is really hard to see in the regular class. So I'm always looking forward, and especially when the lower secondary primaries are joining in, I think it's going to be a really special experience. And because it's school-wide, I think all the students will be able to feel how interesting science is instead of taking notes and theories and having tests and memorizing. So it's really exciting. So
I love that we're bringing a science fair into the school this year. And if you had one piece of advice that you were to give parents about what they need to do to help their children with the science fair, what do you think that would be?
To be realistic, to be honest, we might need preparations at home. So if parents if they have materials or information want to share with the students, or they have their own thoughts that think that will be workable in school, that would be so welcome for them, so appreciate for them to tell their child, and we can do this together in the school. And if they have times, or they have any equipment they want to show, or technology, because a lot of our parents works in technology company, if they want to share something to inspire students to keep going on their science study pathway, that would be so appreciated too.
Great. Well, thank you for joining me today for another conversation. I welcome you all to work with your students on the Science Fair project once we get those announcements coming out. And we look forward to seeing all of the amazing projects your students come up with. Remember that the Science Fair is going to be part of our students' extracurriculum work. So they really need to be working on it outside of their classroom and with the support of their parents at home. So thank you for joining us again for Conversations with Co-Principals, and we will see you next time.